we got some family drama. My family is picking my felon brother's side over mine. My brother threatened to have me attacked and my unborn baby. So you're pregnant. Okay. We're starting off very serious today. Fake names for privacy. My landlord became very weird towards my husband because he had a secret crush. He began to cause issues with our power to our home, lights, heat, everything. It all came to a head when he started playing with the water. We began to call the police for harassment, and no, we were not behind on our bills. This was strictly harassment. He invited my husband out to events, and even though my husband told him I was coming, he would cancel and the war began. That is the backstory. During that time, my brother got locked up and I was keeping money on his phone and books to make sure he had everything he needed during that time. My brother had his own place and he was aware of the things that were going on and gave me an invite to move into his place. I declined until we knew when he was coming home due to the fact that he had a 1-bedroom and I have 4 children and I'm pregnant with one. I didn't want to give up my place for all of us to be trapped in a small place until I found my own place. My credit isn't good, but I don't have evictions, so that's why I was having a hard time. When I found out my brother wasn't getting out, I decided to move in. He has 2 cats and 2 snakes. Ooh, couldn't pay me. You could pay my rent and I still wouldn't live in a house that has a snake in it. I can't do it. Great if you can. I can't. You're better than I. Take it. Take the win. No problem. I was willing to take care of them, except for the fact that his cat was spraying the house and the smell was extremely strong. I told him I can take care of the other animals, but I can't take care of his cat. It's too much work. I went over and I cleaned the place before I was going to move in and I removed the smelly cat. We got into an argument and he told me that I can't get rid of his cat. Those are his cat's place and I can't put the cat out of my living situation. One of his girlfriends, he had 2. They were all together at one point, then separated, but he never left either of them alone. Okay. One informed me that he says he hopes I die and he was going to get me jumped due to the fact that I took the cat out of his place. Where is the cat though? Is the cat in a different place? Is the cat safe? Is it a temporary move? What did you do with the cat? I became upset and my husband told me that he doesn't want to go there because it's just too much drama. I said fine. I still wanted to go because I already have my apartment up and I was moving to avoid the drama. Some of my family members told me to just move in because he got sentenced to 3 years in jail and there was nothing he could do with an empty apartment and he would be crazy to have me attacked from jail. We decided to move in because I literally had nowhere to go. During that time was hell. We were looking high and low for apartments, programs, anything, and my husband was a full-time employee as well as a student. It was extremely hard. He began to say again that he was going to have me attacked. My husband informed my family that he had a defense tool and if he or his family is harmed, he will protect us by any means necessary. So my brother went another route. He had his girlfriend call CPS and began to tell bogus lies about me so my children could be taken away. I already had police reports against them and the reports became false and the case was closed. The fact that he did it is where I have an issue. My family doesn't want to get involved, which I never asked them to choose, but the fact that he's allowed in their home since he was recently released. Oh, interesting. So he didn't get 3 years? And now I'm going no contact with everyone who will stand with him and allow him in their lives after what he has done to me and my children. Am I wrong for cutting everyone off? This is messy. This is messy. This is sticky. I still don't get where the hell the cat went. I don't know what he did to be in jail. Of course he's going to be upset that you're getting rid of his cat. Of course. Where did the cat go? I don't know if everyone needs to be involved in this. You can still have good relationships with the rest of your family, no? This is messy. Y'all, you might have better advice. You tell me, what the hell do you do in this situation? Next up, my brother-in-law left us his mistress. Like, on the porch? I don't know what this means. Joe married young, and him and his wife Jackie had 3 children together. They are all in high school and middle school now. When Joe was around 25, bipolar disorder popped up with the manic episodes, cheating, and spending. Joe was dependent on marijuana and tried quite a few substances. I mention this because I think it might have affected his brain chemistry. We don't really know all of his issues because my husband and I move around quite a lot and they stayed put in the town that we all came from. Jackie didn't care much for our side of the family and they rarely spent time with us, which was devastating for my mother-in-law when she rarely got to spend time with their kids and Joe. Joe had been admitted to psych clinics a few times for the manic episodes. He told them what they needed to hear for them to let him loose. Joe and Jackie had been married around 16 years. We ended up moving near my husband's folks and received a call to come visit because Joe was visiting and he brought his girlfriend. Does Jackie know about his girlfriend? My husband and I were totally shocked. We came because it was clear that stuff was going down and his parents wanted some support. His girlfriend's name is Daisy. Daisy is about 26, which is about 10 years or more younger than Joe. Daisy is nervous, eager to please, and obviously smitten with Joe. Daisy is also married. Okay, like, do we just have this agreement with our wives? Like, go ahead. They have been carrying on an affair for maybe 6 months. They both left their spouses to be together a couple days before. It felt wrong getting to know Daisy and acting like this wasn't effed up. They were both still married and both of their families were reeling from the discovery. My in-laws are fairly conservative and everything that was happening flew all over the face of their beliefs and standards. But life is messy and they had missed Joe dearly. Joe was here and happy and had this idiot girl who seemed to think he was flawless and brilliant despite the hurt he was causing to his children and wife. Daisy and I took a walk together and she told me about how her husband was abusive and Joe showed her what real love was, blah, blah, blah. I take what was said with a grain of salt because I know people that cheat tend to paint their partners in a bad light to make their actions seem acceptable. I asked her how she feels about bipolar disorder and it got weird. She didn't know what I was talking about. I found out later that Joe was upset I had asked and that he wasn't really bipolar. He was misdiagnosed. That's not true. Anyway, they went back to their town and rode out the waves of their divorces together. Oh, okay, so they ended up getting divorced. What a romantic fairy tale. He went into a manic episode that seemed to span the entire pregnancy. Who's pregnant? Oh, I missed a sentence. I'm so sorry, everybody. After their divorces, there's a sentence. She very shortly after got pregnant and they got married. Very important information, Joss. He went into a manic episode that seemed to span the entire pregnancy. He was angry and paranoid. He was mean, mean, mean. My mother-in-law went to support Daisy. He was cussing out his mother, his new pregnant wife, and anyone who came around. Most of his children wanted nothing to do with him at this point, and everything was bad. The baby was born a bit early, I'm sure, to stress. They had to search for him to get him to go to the hospital. My mother-in-law felt that it was just a matter of time until Joe would die. Life couldn't continue in this way. He tried to get help, but it was all kind of a mess. Daisy thought that he would come out of it and be nice again. He spoke constantly about going to be with Jesus. Oh. One morning, he was found dead. No. Oh my gosh. Why are these stories getting so sad on my channel? I know, like, this is just real life, but damn. It was on the wedding anniversary of him and his first wife. The pregnancy to his death all happened within a span of about a year. Devastating. Fast forward to now. Daisy moved states away from their home and now lives down the street from Joe's parents. The baby is a spitting image of Joe, and he is a really sweet baby. Joe's parents are getting a front row seat in raising him. Lines are getting blurred, and I'm sure it's like getting to raise Joe all over again. Thing is, I truly dislike Daisy. Daisy exhibits all the traits I find disgusting. Her mannerisms and tone are that of a child. She acts meek and dumb. She speaks like the most super duberest of Christians. Everything is about God. Yet she cheated on her first husband. She pretends to be Jackie's friend and then talks bad about her own parents. She is a hypocrite. She has no loyalty. She doesn't realize the damage she helped do to his first 3 children. She received the life insurance money that his whole ass other family should have gotten. So like his other kids didn't get any? No way. Joe's other siblings hate her. They blame her for their brother's death, which is probably not fair. Now she is at every family gathering. We're taking a trip in a few weeks and Joe's oldest sister wants to confront her and the part she played in Joe's collapse. She wants to tell Daisy that she should not have gotten pregnant and married him when she could tell that his mental health was in decline. Daisy is a nurse. She should have known better. She was propping him up on the weekend at Bernie's style and ushering him through the stages of life that she wanted with him, and he couldn't measure up. We all think he regretted leaving his first wife, and that's a big part of why he did it when he did. When I shift my mind towards the situation, it's like a hoarder's house and I don't even know what to sift through. I don't think it's me that needs to forgive anything. It feels unfair for me to sit in judgment of Daisy, but I do judge her and resent her. I do judge Joe for the mess he made and leaving this grown woman we barely know in our family. It's now my in-laws propping Daisy up on the weekend and Bernie style through life. She joined their choir at church and attends their old people Sunday school for F's sake. Whatever opinion they have, she parrots. You really don't like her going to church. His parents are talking about putting Daisy in their will where Joe would have been, which if you think about the family Joe had for 16 years prior is kind of messed up. I need direction here in this hoarder's house. Do I support my husband's parents and their new Joe surrogate? Do I support my sister-in-law when she tells me she wants to confront Daisy? What would be gained from that? I don't know. This is all a mess and it's all very serious, very heavy, serious issues here. Very relatable because this is real life and these things actually happen all the time. But this is more than just some like silly red flags. No, these are very serious red flags in every aspect. Let me know your thoughts, but be careful with your wording because certain words on here, when someone ends their life, will get flagged. So your comments might be blocked and things like that. So just censor your words in the comments, you guys. Oh my gosh, this was so sad. All right, well, on a lighter note, hopefully, Sister's Bachelorette went horribly wrong. This can't be as traumatizing and heartbreaking, right? Right. I, female 21, just got back from my sister's, female 28, Bachelorette, and I feel completely disrespected and gutted. I worked 2 jobs and I saved money for this, spent a lot on decor and gifts, had to get a dog sitter for my aggressive dog, etc. And I feel like I did it all for nothing. We went on a moderate road trip, 6 hours, to another state, and I was having so much fun and really loved the town. It was lively, but not too crazy busy. There were only 3 of us, the bride and myself and one other girl, female 25, I believe. It seemed like everything I said turned into a fight. My sister was upset about the other girls not showing up to her bachelorette, but it felt like it was all taken out on me. We went out drinking one night and had a great time. And then on our last night, I figured we would do the same. They kept wanting to leave the whole time, so I told them they could go back to the Airbnb and I would stay out because I wanted to party for our last night. This is where I'm aware of what I did wrong. I should have gone back, but I just wanted a fun night out. They left me there and told some creepy guy to watch over me. I was clicking with everyone and having a really good time getting to know locals and other visitors. I had one guy that hit on me quite a bit and I had reminded him that I have a boyfriend and he took it well and wasn't disrespectful. Then I went to leave and the creepy guy my sister told to watch over me tried following me and wouldn't leave me alone, trying to get me to leave with him. The other respectful guy told him to leave me alone and it started a physical altercation. Then the guy who protected me told me he didn't want me to ride back to the Airbnb in a lift because it didn't seem safe with the creepy guy lurking and he could follow me. He didn't attempt anything inappropriate at all. I was a bit of a mess, which again was where I know I was wrong in the situation. All of that to say, I know I screwed up, but what followed was insane. I woke up on our last morning to pack everything, and both my sister and her friend immediately started screaming at me. When I raised my voice back, my sister grabbed my face and hit me. Oh my God, hitting my sister as an adult? I would never. We definitely threw hands as kids though. Who didn't, right? Like everyone's siblings fought each other. Facts. I pushed her off immediately and burst into tears. I was in complete shock. I put my AirPods in and tried to ignore them while I packed, but her friend was telling me that everyone in my life hates me and that's why my parents left and that's why my boyfriend took a summer job and to get away from me, among many other things that I couldn't believe someone would say to me. My sister just allowed all of this to be said. I took out my AirPod to ask a question and it started back on the yelling. I have PTSD due to abuse from my father and DV in a past relationship. The yelling and throwing things triggered me and I started to have a panic attack. I locked myself in a room and I tried to settle my breathing, which is when her friend started to bang on the door and scream at me to open it. Why is her friend involved? What does this have to do with you? Even if you're fighting with your sister, you can mind your business. I told her there were other things she could prepare to leave and I needed a moment. She was slamming on the door, screaming, and broke the door handle. She finally walked away and I finished the rest of the packing until we left. They were talking trash on me for probably 2 to 3 hours of our 6-hour drive, and again, I was listening to music, trying to drown it out. I will never speak to my sister's friend ever again. I don't care if we're in the same wedding party. I won't speak a word to her. I don't even know where to go from here with my sister. We are extremely close, and I'm the maid of honor. Aren't you that close?
I doubt it.
A lot of our family is estranged and I don't want to lose her, but I no longer even feel safe being around her and the other bridesmaid. The wedding is in a month and a half. Help. Oh my gosh, girl, I don't even know how to help because saying things you don't mean, sometimes when there's accountability and apologies, we can move on from that. You know, we can rebuild and repair the relationship. But as an adult, grabbing your face and getting hit, I would have a very hard time moving on from that. My gosh, I'm stressed in this video. This is a good time to pause and take a deep breath and a sip of water. Cheers. It's hydration station time. I feel like I need something stronger than water in today's video, I'm not gonna lie. Next up, I hate my brother. I do not. I love my brother. My brother is 33 male and I am 26 female. He and I didn't get along super well as kids, but when I was in my earlier 20s, he and I became good friends. I got him a job at the restaurant I was working at when he decided to move back home, and we would hang out together and became a part of my friend group for a short while. He got a girl pregnant a couple years ago, and that is when everything went to shite. The girl is from a somewhat pretentious family and for some reason has always stuck her nose up to my side of the family. She's a religious Christian and she insisted that my brother marry her or else he wouldn't be allowed to live with her and their child. We all told him not to marry her, but he did anyway. Since they've been married, he has completely alienated our side of the family and never lets our parents see their grandkid. He and I got into some beef last Christmas because I posted a video of our family on Facebook and their baby was in the video, and they do not allow anyone to post their baby on social media. My bad, I apologized and deleted the video, but he never let it go. Fast forward to now, our mother got very sick with pneumonia and was hospitalized. I contacted him and told him she was in the hospital. She was in the hospital for 7 days and I went to see her and got her everything she needed every single day that she was there. On my days off, I spent 6+ hours at the hospital with her. I stayed at her house multiple days to take care of her cat while she was there too. He only very briefly came to see her once and maybe stayed 20 minutes before rushing off because his wife wanted him home. He texted me every day and insisted I wasn't being assertive enough with the doctors and tried to tell me how to handle the whole situation. When she got out, I set everything up for her at home and made sure she knew how to use her oxygen tank and whatnot. I went to the grocery store for her, did her laundry, and did everything she asked me to do, which I was happy to do. I went home that night after not being home for days, and he texted me upset that I wasn't going to continue to stay at her house. I reassured him that I will still go check on her every day and take care of things. She only lives 10 minutes away from me. He told me I'm not doing enough to take care of her, and I lashed out and told him he's an a-hole and gave him a big F you. He never brought her anything or did anything to help her while she was in the hospital. He never offered to take some of the load off of me so that I could have a break. I work in construction, so it's needless to say I'm exhausted at the end of the day, but I still put in full effort for my mom. He is a freelance photographer and works from home. He also lives pretty close by, so let's just say it would have been a lot easier for him to step up and do some of the things that needed to be done for our mom. Maybe hate is a strong word, but I absolutely hate the person he has become. I do too. I don't even know him, but I do too. For what reason? Like, that's insane to me. His wife also sucks if she is genuinely wanting him home when he should be at the hospital with his mother. Wouldn't you be like, that's your mom, get to the hospital, go stay at her house, go help out. Your mom is sick and she needs you. Apparently not this wife. Post-funeral drama. Okay, like as if funerals aren't dramatic enough. Are you kidding me? I just got back from my grandma's funeral weekend and half my family is beefing right now. My younger brother's wife didn't come to any of the events because she struggles with chronic migraines and was really busy with her kids' extracurricula, which was totally understandable. But my oldest sister took offense to it and started making conspiracies out of it. At first, it was because she doesn't like our family anymore and she doesn't want to be around us. She straight up asked him that at our grandma's gravesite. He was so flustered and just pushed the comment aside. Then it was because of something that happened between him and our mom and started making up lies about what happened. I'm not sure what happened, but my other sister told me that none of it was true and told our brother because he deserved to know. He texted our mom and sister kindly asking them to stop saying things that didn't happen. My sister immediately knew my other sister was the one who told him and started yelling at her saying, "You ruined our relationship. There is no coming back from this." She's now taking it out on all of us and isn't really talking to anyone. I tried asking if I could play Switch with my niece because I'm recovering from surgery and I'm on bed rest, and her husband were short and ignored me. Earlier today, I tried slyly bringing it up to my mom because she doesn't know I know about all that went down, and she lied to my face and said everything was golden. The trip itself didn't go super well because my older sister didn't really consider any of us and put her and her kids first. Why are we even bringing that up at a literal grave site?
Please leave me alone.
Even if you have questions about his wife and her intentions and why she's not there, time and place, that doesn't matter. Just be there and support the family that's there and talk about it later. Oh my goodness. My cousin / best friend blocked me after asking for money that she owes me. I hate that. I hate when you lend someone money and then they're like, no, I'll pay you back. And then they don't. And then you have to ask for it. And then they make you feel guilty for asking for it. I've been in that situation before. This situation has really been weighing on me, and I want to know if I'm truly overreacting or if my feelings are justified. So I've been going through a rough time lately, and someone close to me, let's call her Beth, offered to help. She was adamant about being there for me, encouraging me to distance myself from my toxic family, and said she would help with basic things like getting food and washing clothes. Over the course of a few days, she made multiple plans with me and then broke them. I tried to be really understanding. She works a lot and just had someone pass away in her circle. I even waited days before I got upset, but when I finally did bring it up, I was still careful with how I worded everything. I didn't blame her, just told her I was hurt and needed to have a conversation. Instead of engaging maturely, she got defensive, flipped the situation on me, and eventually blocked me. She still has my clothes, money she owes me, and other belongings. I sent a final message saying if she didn't return them, I would reach out to her father, my uncle, to help resolve it. I also told her I wasn't interested in drama. I just wanted my things back and to move on. She blocked me completely. I did end up messaging my uncle, kept it respectful, and explained the situation without being petty. I really didn't want to involve him, but I feel like I was left no other option. So, am I overreacting? You have an absolute right to want your things back. Could you have been maybe a little more understanding that she bailed on plans during a really low time for her? Sure. I feel like it's all a little bit overreacting, really. Like when you look at the bigger picture, I think this could be worked out. I think you also deserve your stuff back and not to be blocked and erased completely from their life out of nowhere. But we can work this out, right? All right, we got argument with mom. So about 3 weeks ago, I got into a huge argument with my mom, and let's just say her real opinions about my life came out. My mom asked if I had any info about my wedding yet. I got engaged in April. I told my mom my fiance and I hadn't had the time to figure out a date yet because at the time, we hadn't had an opportunity to discuss it as we had been on the go a lot, as she wanted to be able to tell my brother. I said it would be the first or second weekend in October of next year. That's when I told her I didn't want my brother to officiate my wedding. And well, that caused a stir. It was like I shot her dog or something. My parents don't own a dog, but you get the idea. I said the reason I didn't want him is because any reference to my wedding after it's going to start with the phrase, "Oh, your brother married you," and it won't be about me. Oh, that's the reason? I would love for my sister to marry me. I think that would be so fun. Hell, I might even ask one of them. I got a few sisters to choose from and a brother. Why not? Do it all. Do a group one. Who cares? She told me that wasn't a good excuse and that I was going to hurt his feelings. I said he'll have a role, it just might not be that. I also said it might not be a Catholic wedding as my fiance is Baptist. It will be a Christian wedding. My mom got even madder about that. I said if I do a Catholic wedding, it would only be the ceremony part and not the full mass, as I want my fiance to be comfortable. I also told my mom my brother and I aren't close. My mom then says that my brother was worried about me on Sunday morning. I called him because he thought something was wrong and something bad happened. That Sunday morning was to inform him that I was engaged. My mom also told me that he worries about me and asks about me every Friday, how I am doing and if I'm coming to things. I told my mom if he's so concerned about me, he can pick up the phone or call or text me. This led to my mom being pissed. She doesn't know what's going on with me or what I am doing. I flat out told her she makes it hard to tell her anything because it comes with a critique, and she says it's hard to tell me things because of how I react. I think maybe it's her approach to how she tells me things. She then tells me that she is pissed about how I introduced my fiance to them. Girl, are you looking for issues? Like, what does this have to do with anything? I did it on Thanksgiving and I didn't inform them that he was coming because at my birthday dinner, my parents asked about my work and was like, can I ask for a raise and are they paying me to travel? I'm a sign language interpreter and it's because I don't work 40 hours a week. My parents think I can't support myself. I have been working and supporting myself for 3 years. I got up and left that dinner and told them it was none of their damn business and I didn't speak to my parents until Thanksgiving. She then is also pissed because one of my aunts and one of my uncles knew about my fiance before she did. I would have told her sooner about him if she hadn't pissed me off. I also told her everything is about my brother and not about me. She was like, it will be all about you. I was thinking that my feelings don't matter. She then said, no, it's not. We talk about you too. I said, when? I never hear it when I'm around. My mom also said we made sure that you were a part of your brother's ordination and that I should strongly reconsider having my brother officiate. My mom was also mad that I moved and I didn't ask them for help. Part of the reason I didn't ask my parents was because when I first moved out of their place several years ago, it came with a critique of how I was going to support myself. Not my fault I don't feel safe going to my parents with info because every time it's a critique or about how someone else feels. I just feel what I want or how I feel doesn't matter. I love my mom, but at the same time, it's like she won't allow me to be an adult and have my own thoughts and feelings, and that I have to follow her rules. This should be a happy time for me, but I don't feel supported. I know my parents aren't going to change, but I feel so discouraged. My friends and other people are more genuinely happy for me than my parents. And then parents get surprised when children start to set boundaries in their relationships. And usually that causes just a bigger rift within the relationship because you don't feel you can talk to them. Your mom apparently doesn't like the way you react. So it's just this vicious cycle of toxicity. Hey. Let me know your thoughts on these ones, you guys. I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.